Folks, stop wasting your money. I'll get into that and then the latest home prices and insights for the Peel and Durham region for week ending February 12th, 2025. If you're coming onto the market now, you're looking at selling. You know, there's lots of competition out there right now and more coming. And so many sellers will look at the properties that are on the market and try to find ways of standing out, which is, I believe the right thought process. How do we make our homes stand out? So many of these sellers, especially, Peel, Durham region, but it doesn't matter what area you're in, you're coming up with ways of maybe doing some improvements to your home, of having your home look nicer, look better. And so we see properties that, when you read the description, it'll say freshly painted, updated this, updated that they've done some renovations. And the pictures look nice. The pictures on MLS. Then we'll go see the home and we're thinking, like, who painted this place? Like, was it, finger painting, or are they just splashing on the wall? Because there's paint drops like on the floor, on the hardwood. No one's following the lines. Like, it's frustrating for me to actually talk about this, because quality workmanship, we're seeing it fewer and fewer times out there. Excuse me. The kind of work that's being done to these homes that are just put on the market, it's shoddy work. Like, I don't know if these people are experienced in what they're doing. I know many times the homeowner themselves has done some of the work. I mean, they may be thinking of, okay, we need to paint the house. We need to freshly paint the house before we go on the market. And for many homes that haven't been painted in years, or some funky colors were used that the homeowner enjoyed, the real estate agent might say, we need to really have more neutral colors in here. So the homeowner's thinking, no problem, I'll get it painted. It'll look nice. A simple thing like a paint job, it could easily, $10,000. I'm just picking a number, but easily $10,000 to paint the house. And the homeowner says, $10,000? Are you nuts? And they go out and they spend $1,000 on material and paint it themselves over the next 2-3 months. They finally paint the whole home. There, we ready. I saved $9,000, the homeowner's thinking. But it looks terrible. The job just isn't professionally done. You could see it right away. And buyers, they're not dumb. Like, they see what it looks like as they look through the house and think, who painted this? And then you start negotiating the price, and the buyers are negotiating if they choose to put an offer on your home, because there's so many other choices out there these days. They would prefer to negotiate on a property where there's nothing for the buyer to do. But let's just say you get lucky enough to get an offer on your home and they're negotiating, you maybe are going to sell. But where you saved $9,000, say, on painting it yourself, you're losing $20,000, $30,000 on the actual sale price. You never really make that connection. But I see it. I see it when I'm walking through these homes with my buyer clients. What maybe could cost $5,000 or $10,000 to fix or repair or to update, my buyer clients are thinking way more. And the hassle of doing it themselves, they often will look more favorably on a house that has the work done properly. All this to say, if you're going to do any updating or renos to enhance your home, to make it stand out in the competition that's out there right now, first of all, which I didn't say, be careful what you actually do in this market. You may not recover the money. But if it's simple and expensive things, and yes, painting the home to make it look nice in the long term is considered an inexpensive thing. At the very least, no matter what, it should always be quality and done by a professional. If you, as the homeowner, you're really handy and good at doing those things, don't take shortcuts. Do it properly. If you're not, spend the money, get it done right. It'll come back to you later. If you've done it right, it'll serve its purpose. If you didn't do it right, it'll come back to haunt you, because you will see a less interest in your home and a lower sale price because of that. If you think this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. And if you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Below this video in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. Folks, we have two really nice townhouses we want to bring to your attention. One's in Brampton, one's in Ajax. The links will be on the board here behind me at the end of this video. This show is about detached properties across Brampton, Mississauga, and Durham. For Durham, I'm using Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby as my Durham sample. And over the last few weeks, looks like average prices in these areas I'm talking about today has been trending upwards. We're going to start off with Mississauga. For week ending February the 12th, 37 detached properties were sold. Sales looks like they're trending upwards. 6 of those 37 were sold at $2 million or more. And that's a big number for Mississauga. Average sold price is $1,550,000. 1,550 is 7% higher than where we were this time a year ago. The median price of 1.4 is 1% higher. Now, when we look at average price and we look at the dotted line, the 4-week moving average, it's kind of showing that average price is trending up, but median price kind of flat. 37 were sold, 14% sold at list price or more. The 37 sales represents 8% of all the detached properties available for sale in Mississauga. And when we look at listings, we are listing far more properties in Mississauga this year for this period, January to now, than the same period a year ago. Months of inventory sitting at 2.9, right at the top end of what we call a seller's market and at the bottom end of a balanced market. Here's Brampton. There's a glare there. I can't see the number that well. 28 detached properties were sold. 2 of those were at $2 million or more. Now, I put a question mark there because we're kind of expecting sales to increase as we move forward through the year here, headed towards the spring market. But sales went down. They've gone down 2 weeks in a row now. So 28 were sold. Average sold price is $1,195,000. 1,195 is 2% higher than where we were this time a year ago. The median price of 1,153 is 1% lower. 28 were sold, 18% sold at list price or more. Listings, way more listings this year than the same time a year ago. And of the 28 sales, that actually represents 4% of all detached properties available for sale in Brampton. And months of inventory jumped way up. Well, sales dropped, so months of inventory went up because the algorithm, the system, the formula is going to look at, you did so few sales, it's going to take us this much longer to buy everything that's for sale. So months of inventory sitting at 5.8 months of inventory. Here's Durham. Again, for Durham, I'm using Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby, focused only on detached properties. For week ending February the 12th, 32 detached properties were sold. 3 of those was at $2 million or more. Average sold price shot way up to $1,244,000. 1,244 is 9% higher than this time a year ago. The median price is 14% higher. 32 were sold, 59% sold at list price or more. That percentage is starting to climb. Listings, yeah, we're listing more this year than we did a year ago. Of the 32 sales, well, that represents 10% of all the properties available for sale. And months of inventory, pretty steady, sitting at 2.4 months of inventory. Here's a quick summary. Depending on where you're for sale or where you're shopping, you're going to experience a bit of a seller's market, a bit of a balanced market, maybe even a bit of a buyer's market. Thanks for watching. Now check out the 2 townhouses we have for sale.